Hey everybody, welcome to the Silver Phoenix Happy Hour. How's it going?
I'm doing great. I think we got something really fun going on tonight that I'm kind of excited for.
Yeah, me too, me too. So I don't know if you guys saw in the clip, if you joined, at the very beginning, but we had a band come on, and we're super excited. They're joining us today. They're going to be the youngest guests we've had on so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm packing some ginger ale right now, just to be safe. Just to be
Listen,
safe.
I have the old Coca-Cola, Coke Zero here too, just same reason. We'll make this our kid-friendly show. So, but the band is called Deez Guyzz. They're from Long Beach, and I'm just super excited to have them on and hear their process and kind of how they formed and all that fun stuff. So, but what it reminded me of and kind of how this even came to be, I was talking to their dad one day, who I play volleyball with sometimes, and I knew that they were playing in a band. His son is the lead singer, so you'll meet him soon. But I was thinking School of Rock, the anniversary is coming up. So October 3rd, 2003 is when it came out. So have you seen it?
I'll be honest, I never saw it.
What?
Yeah,
Ken.
I'm not the biggest Jack Black fan,
Oh, but
but
it was, you know what? It was also on Broadway. You didn't see it on Broadway then either, I'm assuming.
I no. Well, I figured I
Okay.
wasn't going to see if I hadn't seen the movie because I wasn't familiar with the story. You know.
Well, you know what? So the story, just a quick little abridged version, my version at least. Jack Black's in a band. He has some antics at the beginning, and his character's name is Dewey. So Dewey Finn. But he has some antics. I think he's crowd surfing, and he's just kind of a buffoon, if you will. And the guys want to take it more seriously, so they kick him out of the band. And he's has no money. He's trying to figure out what to do with his life, basically, but he still wants to play, still wants to do that. And his roommate, I guess, ends up. I can't remember this part exactly. If his roommate is sick one day, or if he just like intercepts a call, I don't remember exactly how it happens. But he becomes a substitute teacher in a prep school, and it just so happens that he overhears some of the kids talking about music, and in their class, he ends up starting this band, and it's really because he has the motive. He wants to be in the battle of the bands, the big battle of the bands competition, and these kids are good, like so good.
Yes. Yes.
Did you have anything musical? To me, it seems like you had to have done
Yeah,
something musical
yeah,
in school.
starting back, I think I want to say it was like around fourth grade. I think
Okay.
like a lot of kids. I started. I was in band. I learned playing flute. Transitioned to every major woodwind. Wound up in the marching band, concert band. Yeah, just even being in the orchestra pit for like school musicals and stuff. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Right. Yeah. You know what? I didn't play instruments. I tried clarinet, I think, in like second grade. It was terrible. But I think I squeaked. It was like every other note was a squeak. But I was a singer. So for me, the singing came early. And then that of course led to all of the plays and all of that. And even in college, high school, college, I continued on. But we didn't have a band in high school. So I never really did much there. I did pick up the harmonica just to have something with my singing, and a little piano when I was in college. And then, of course, as a performance major, I had to learn all the instruments. So it was at least proficiently enough just to take a class and be able to play at the end, have a little test. But I probably was best at piano out of all those. But really, I was just a singer, So
I did the singing thing too. I did
yeah.
musicals and stuff, but outside of school years later. I didn't get into theater until after college, or yeah, around college, after college, and then yeah, and then helping out bands and stuff
Yeah.
as things progress. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was wondering, I'm looking forward to asking the kids, just how they got their start and kind of, what made it. Do they have influences? Meaning, are their parents, did their parents encourage them? Do they do other things beyond music? Is there other things that they like to do? So I'm looking forward to that for sure.
I'm looking forward to it to being kind of like a trip down memory lane and reminiscing of being that young again. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah, yeah. So you're not familiar then with Richard Linklater, then the director of School of Rock?
I know of him, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's funny, but when I saw it both in the uh, theater when it came out, and then I also saw it on Broadway. So it's kind of cool to have been able to see both the renditions of it. And I thought the Broadway was fantastic. For They really took the story. I thought like it was pretty close to form, and it was just so much fun. It was kind of. Have you ever seen Matilda?
Yes.
That was another like kids musical that I thought was a perfect transition to Broadway.
I mean, I would have to see the musical at some point because I know the music was done by Andrew Lloyd Webber, who I think we're all kind of fans of.
Yeah.
And I know the original production had Sierra Boggess in it, who I love. She was
Yes.
one of my favorite Christines in Phantom.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. That's fantastic. Well, listen, before we get all the kids on board and all of that, we're just waiting on them to join. Let's go into the kitchen.
let's do that.
All right, roll that clip.
What's up, Ken and Blaze? I'm so excited about today's episode. I know we've got a School of Rock theme going on, but it's also back to school. And I have just 5 words for any parents that might be watching out there who are packing school lunches, going through the stress of snacks, and of course those family meals, because it's family meal night, family meal month as well. Don't sweat the small stuff. So many times I hear and see people really stressing themselves out over things like, oh, is this organic? If it's not, should I not buy it? Is this really the good stuff? Oh my gosh, does this have a seed oil in it? Ay, ay, ay. The list really goes on. So instead of sweating the small stuff, when you're feeding your kids, there are a couple of things that are super important. One, modeling good habits yourself. You want your kid to eat vegetables, eat a balanced meal. One, you had better be doing it. 2, stop talking about foods in terms of good, bad, black or white, because that has the potential to create disordered eating later on down the line. There is no such thing as a good or a bad food unless it's spoiled or you are allergic to it, right? 3, when we're packing these lunches, listen, don't be afraid to pack something that you know your kid really likes because you think they're going to be shamed or something like that. So in my daughter's little bento box, yes, she's going to have some meat, some cheese, some vegetables, some fruit. But guess what? You know what I'm putting in the middle? I'm putting some M&Ms, or I'm putting a few pieces of licorice, because normalizing all foods, even those fun foods for the long haul, I know is going to do her a world of good. And in time, she will know that she controls her food. Food does not control her. So, big takeaway this week, don't sweat the small stuff. Think about balance. Think about all foods fitting. And above all else, make sure food still stays fun for your little kids. Ken and Blaze, it's always a pleasure. And I'm really excited for next week, but I won't spoil it for our audience.
Ah, that Nicole.
Every week.
We love it. We love it every week. So, um, anything else to add, Ken, when it comes to school? um, and playing instruments and music. And who are who did you listen to when you were in school? Who were your favorites?
Oh,
I
well,
know this is dating us for sure, but
yeah, well, with some of the stuff we were doing, like I was actually a symphonic kind of kid being in band, like Jerry Goldsmith, a lot of movie soundtracks and a lot of theater.
okay,
Weber, Frank Wildhorn, like that kind of stuff.
gotcha. Yeah, I had all of that, but then I mean, musically, not for singing for me, but because I was more of a jazz and blues girl. But I love Duran Duran, Def Leppard. I
Oh,
was
well,
like,
yeah.
I mean, back in the day, we're talking like
Well, I mean,
Foreigner.
I was more of a classic rock guy even at my age. I was still listening to Zeppelin and, like Pink Floyd, all that
Right.
stuff, and that was still way before me. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm super excited to get the kids in, and I want to introduce Deez Guyzz. Let's bring in Deez Guyzz. Hey guys,
Hi.
how's it going?
Good.
Good, good. Nice to meet everybody. So why don't we just go around real quick and just kind of wave, put your hand up. Let's start with Paul. And just tell us how old you are and your name.
My name's 10, and I'm 10, and my name is Paul.
My name is Lars, and I'm 15.
My name is Quinn, the legend, and I'm 10.
Cool.
My name is Bridie, and I'm 11.
And last but not least.
My name is Alejandro, and I'm 10.
Okay. Perfect. Welcome, guys. Welcome. So I want to know, first of all, how you guys all got together. You have a studio that you work for. Can you tell us about that studio?
We go to Studio Noir, which is in Long Beach, New York. And right by the Speakeasy.
Oh, okay. Very cool. And all of you play different instruments and do different things in the band, right? So, is this, do you play multiple instruments? Do you have people coming in and out, or like tell us a little bit about what you do? Quinn, the legend, let's start with you.
Well, I'm just lead vocals.
Just lead vocals. What's your favorite song to sing, Quinn?
I really love Holiday by Green Day.
Okay, awesome. Lars, how about you?
I just play the drums, and my favorite song, well, to play on the drums, I don't really have one. I can't find a number of how many songs I like playing.
Let's jump to Alejandro in the car.
I'm the keyboard.
Fantastic. And then do you have any favorite song that you like to play on the keyboard?
No.
No? Okay. All right, fair enough. How about Paul? Back to Paul.
I do like guitar, like a little bit of piano maybe, and like some bass. And my favorite song is "Killing in the Name of" by Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, fantastic.
To the guitar player from Rage Against the Machine.
That is a man after my own heart right there.
Yeah, that's incredible. All right, Bridie, you're up.
I play drums, keyboard, bass, and a little bit of guitar. But I only focus on bass in the band. And I have a favorite bassist. He's like not 100% popular. He's Mike Gordon from Fish. Have you guys heard of Fish before?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
My friend
Yeah.
Melissa, I'll have to make sure she listens to this because she just was in Atlantic City. My cousin was in Atlantic City to see them. So
Yeah, so was my
of course.
dad. My dad
Oh
was
my
there
gosh.
too.
That's fantastic. So then Fish is one of your inspirations then. Is it a Fish song that you like to play or is there something else?
I like to play Holiday and Root Down that we play in the band.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, they both have like a nice like funky beat kind of.
Yeah. Now, have you guys seen the movie School of Rock? Any of you?
No. Yes.
No.
I
'Cause
loved
I know
it. It was my favorite music. It's one of my favorite movies.
I've never seen it.
Me neither.
So
see that
we were talking about it. We were talking about it at the beginning, and it came out in 2003, which we know none of you were born then. But I was curious who has actually seen the movie. Quinn, what did you like about the movie? Did you like just the concept, or what you like?
I just like the concepts of like a bunch of like people playing instruments, and I just loved it. It was one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite movies ever.
Cool. Very cool. Where did the name come from? Who came up with Deez Guyzz?
It basically came from the cafe. And Ben just said, "Give it up for Deez Guyzz," and that's how it became Deez Guyzz.
I love that. That's awesome. Ken, do you have a question for them?
Yeah, so I mean, we got the four guys in right here centered together now. Alejandro actually made it back to the group, and nice to have you together all together. How is it having Bridie with you too? Because I mean, you got to have a little bit of a balance of the guys and the girls in this. How is it? Well, on both sides. How is it working with a group of guys, Bridie, and then you guys? How is it working with Bridie?
Ladies first.
Yes, ladies first.
It's pretty interesting. It's kind of cool because like when we perform on stage, it's like I'm like the only girl, and it's like cool and bad because if I mess up, all the spotlight like on the bass is like right there. But it's also cool, like I said, because it's like kind of the spotlight, but it's not really.
What about you guys? How is it playing without Bridie?
It's pretty nice.
It doesn't change anything really.
Yeah.
It doesn't change anything.
Well, we actually used to have a girl bassist, Tabitha. Yeah. And then after Tabitha left, Bridie joined, and yeah.
I mean, Ben was our bassist for a while.
I just love how Bridie is able to jump in with the vocals with me, and I just love having another person sharing that role with me. It's just amazing.
Usually, like only in a few songs, she's the ad libs for Quinn.
Mm-hmm. We have like breakdown, Runaway from Carrie, could share some of our songs.
Yeah.
Most of like the backup in the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
It would be cool too, though, like future, you never know. Maybe there's a good duet that, guy girl duet you could do potentially. Who knows? Speaking of future stuff, so you're planning on playing out, right? So you already started playing out. Tell us some of the gigs you've had so far.
FinFest.
FinFest, that's awesome.
Anchor.
The block party.
Block party. We have a
Barnum Ballroom.
Barnum Ballroom. Oh,
Both of those were really good.
yeah.
You've only been to one, I think.
Anchor
Two.
Tavern.
The cafe. 2 backyard parties.
No, we've only been
Fantastic.
one backyard
No,
party.
2.
I guess I wasn't there.
We need your manager. We need your manager to confirm all these things. So then beyond that, you guys work together. Do you guys go to school together too? Are you in the same area or no, different schools?
Me and Paul
I'm
go
in
to
a
the
whole
same.
different school.
Me and Paul go to the same school. We both go to West Elementary. Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
in a whole different school.
Yeah, he's in
Whole
musical
different
arts
school.
of high school.
Me and Bridie live in Queens, but we don't go to the same school. We don't go to the same school though.
Yeah, different places in Queens, but
I live in Rockaway.
And
I
then
live in
let's
Queens.
start with Bridie first. But how did you get started playing bass? Like how old were you? I want to hear a little breakdown so you guys can think about this while Bridie's answering. But how did that get started for you?
So it was kind of like out of the ordinary. There was an old band that we used to have. It was all of us except for Lars, and it was called the Mama Johns. And I used to play keyboard in the beginning because that's what I started off with. But then Alejandro came in, so it was kind of weird because like we were not both in sync. So Ben was like, "Hey, Bridie, do you want to move to bass?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll give it a shot." And I really liked it, so I kept like playing and practicing, and I got better over time. So that's like how I started basically, and that was like a year and a half ago, maybe just a year.
Cool, nice. Alejandro, how about you? We'll switch over to the guys now.
So, funny story. It was actually in 2018. So I was actually taking drum lessons with Ben for like 1 year, and then in 2019 I was like, I don't know why, but like in 2019 I just decided I want to switch to keyboard. So in 2019 I switched to keyboard, and then in 2020 it was a December night. Ben invited me over here to play with the band one time, and then like just to see if he could add me in, and then he asked Paul what he thinks, and then Paul said, "Awesome, yes, I want Alejandro in the band." And so yeah, that's how he became part of the band.
Awesome, very cool. All right, Paul, your turn. How old were you when you started playing an instrument?
I started playing when I was like 6 or 7 years old. I discovered the guitar by when my sister, like, she was getting a clarinet for school, and like I saw a guitar and like I want that. So that was like when I was like 6. So when I turned 7, I got my first guitar, and I started taking lessons in Manhattan, and then I basically moved to Long Beach, and I started taking lessons with Ben. And then there was this backyard party with Finn and Lars, and then it just became Deez Guyzz.
Fantastic. All right, Lars, you're up.
So I started taking lessons at 4, and then a couple of years later, I got into Studio North. Like jumped into different bands. Uh, played with different bands. Uh, they didn't really hop on the drums. Kind of just played tambourine and all that, bongos and all that. And then I got into Long Island Drum Center. Started taking lessons with Jerry Ricky. And then since then, that was like 8 years ago. So now like all the stuff I learned from the drumming is from them, and then I got into Deez Guyzz. Well, at the backyard party, like Paul said.
Very cool.
Fantastic. Yeah, really cool. All right, Quinn.
Okay, so I started playing drums when I was 6 years old because that was just what I really wanted to do. Then I was starting taking lessons with Ben Noir at Studio Noir. So then Ben kind of formed a band that I played drums in, and it was called the Country Bumpkins. And then like after COVID-19 happened, I got back with Ben, and I started singing. And then Mama John. And then Mama John. Yeah, and then the Mama John's was formed. I was invited to Ben tried to bring this group together, and we called it the Mama Johns. Then the Mama Johns kind of like collided with another with a bunch of more people, and that's how Deez Guyzz was formed.
Yeah, I love that. That's really exciting.
Wow.
So what are all of your dreams? Like do you have dreams to be musicians? Are you doing it for fun? Like, what's the story?
One thing I really want to do, I want the band to perform at Jones Beach Theater.
So my dream is like to play at Jones Beach and Madison Square Garden.
All right, cool. So you actually want to do this for future. This isn't just like, little side thing. You're actually thinking of doing it for, a while.
And also go on tour a lot around
Okay.
the United States. Maybe go to different countries.
So listen, guys, we ask every guest that we have come on for a piece of advice that they would have for someone just starting out. So say one of your schoolmates or something has never picked up an instrument, they want to start out. What's your advice that you have for them? Like, what's the first thing that pops in your mind that's like good advice that you can give them? Bridie, let's start with you.
Just like to keep practicing, because if you don't practice, like you won't get better. It goes with everything, not only instruments. It can go with sports, anything. So just like don't give up and keep trying, no matter how hard it gets.
That's perfect advice. Okay, Alejandro.
So when you're like fresh, never touched an instrument before, don't fall for YouTube tutorials. Don't fall for those. That's actually my advice. But like when you get farther in, then maybe you can use some of those. I use some of those.
Same. I use Money Schwartz. I use karaoke.
I use Synthesio.
You know what? Not watching YouTube videos or agreeing with YouTube videos is a general rule of life for almost anything nowadays, guys.
Yeah,
I was about to say.
Yep. All right, Paul, what's your advice?
My advice is to motivate yourself, keep practicing, and never give up, no matter how hard you try and no matter how many mistakes you do.
Fantastic. Lars?
When you keep trying, you're always just gonna get better, and any obstacles you come by, you're always gonna get over it.
Awesome. All right, and Quinn, round us out.
Okay. 6 words. Don't get scared on a stage. That's 7, but so that's just my advice. Don't get nervous. Don't get nervous because it's actually really, really fun once you get on the stage and start performing.
And it was 6 words.
Yeah, it was 6 words. You were dead on the money. So, but if let's just say that does happen, because I have been performing my whole life since I was 5. I jumped on a stage when I was a little kid, so I understand where you guys are at, and I still get scared sometimes. And when I say scared, I don't mean that I'm not able to do it, but I get the butterflies. I feel like sometimes, that's a good thing when you have butterflies. It means you're passionate about something. But what's a tip that you can, or something that you do that when you are kind of scared or nervous, do you have anything that you do? Do you breathe? Do you drink water? Do you know, what are your tips? What do you do?
You think of you performing and rocking that stage. That's what you do.
Awesome. I love that. Love that.
I don't really get nervous, so I don't really know what to do.
I've never gotten nervous on a stage.
What if it was MSG?
MSG, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
No, I still wouldn't get nervous.
I
wouldn't care if I was playing in front of like the most famous people ever. I wouldn't get scared.
Really?
I would get really nervous. I don't know how you would not get nervous. I would get really nervous.
Yeah. So if you met your guy from Fish, Bridie, you know, have you met him before?
No, I haven't met him, but I have been to a concert where he was playing, and it was kind of just like really interesting, like to hear everything like kind of formed up together. And there was like a documentary that came out on I think it was on Hulu or something like that. And
Yeah.
it was like kind of cool, like how they like meet up and like they practice. It was pretty similar to what like Deez Guyzz does.
Yeah.
So it's
absolutely
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about some of the shows that you have coming up. You have anything planned coming up? Because I know school starts soon.
Block parties.
No, one block party.
Two.
Where?
All right, guys, listen, I think that's going to be about cut us for do it for us tonight. It was such a pleasure to get to meet you all, and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you guys so much. It was lovely to have you guys. And again, this is Deez Guyzz, and we're going to play out one of your songs right here. So let's roll that clip. Oh, how fun. How fun.
So like I said, did you actually reminisce and remember back being a kid, you know, picking up an instrument or singing for the first time?
I did for sure. When I think about it, I wish that maybe I started playing like with a band when I was their age. That would have been really cool. I was solo artist. But a band is so fun. It's so much fun to be in a band. And honestly, it did remind me a lot of School of Rock when they were like talking back and forth and kind of to each other, teasing, whispering. Like it was definitely real and awesome to see. So wish them the best of luck. I hope their dreams come true. MSG, that would be great. We could say
Absolutely, you know,
you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they better send us some complimentary tickets when they get there, you know?
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. But no, that was so much fun. So appreciate it so much. Thank you to their parents too for all that they do. Cause I know that, my mom, and I'm sure your parents too, took you to all your lessons and all of that. So sometimes you forget, that the parents are really the rocks behind all of that. And wouldn't be very far without somebody kind of, guiding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guiding them along the way.
That is very, 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 very true, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we have one thing to do left.
I think it's time to go beachcombing with you.
Yes. So School of Rock to a School of Fish. Let's roll that clip.
It's back to school time, so today's episode is all about schooling fish. Just look at them swimming in sync. It's so cool to watch them as they move in the same direction, at the same speed, and in unison, as if their movement has been choreographed into a perfect dance. Mesmerizing and yet kind of intimidating too. A school of fish is usually made up of the same type of fish. Scientists believe schooling behavior is in their genes. So why do they do it? Well, they school for many reasons. Protection from predators, also to improve their foraging skills. It's much easier to gather food together. Then there are the social reasons, like mating. And have you ever heard of drafting, like race cars do? This helps them swim way more efficiently. Teamwork definitely makes the dream work in this case. Well, until next time, explore, learn, love the adventure.
All right. Well, that will about do it for us today. We'd like to thank Alejandro, Bridie, Paul, Lars, and Quinn from Deez Guyzz.
You
Wish
got them
them the
all. You got them
I
all.
I felt like we were they're like my friends now, so it was great, and to their parents too, for allowing them to be on our show. And again, thank you to Nicole as always, and to you,
Thank you
my
to
friend.
you. Thank you
Oh,
to
and to
you, because
you,
you
and to
because you
you.
you 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 schooled me on fish. But
I like it. I like it. We needed Lars to do a little drum for us, right? But anyway, all right, that'll do it for us. See you later. Till next time.
take care, everybody.